Go.
My name is Marcus. Some people know me as Red, some people know me as Made by Red. I am 24, I'm from Bermuda. The thing I do the most is directing and editing. So I write a lot of stuff, and then on the back end I'll do post-production, so like anything from sequencing to After Effects, visual effects, sound effects, that sort of thing. But outside of that, I'm on set, and then I act and model sometimes too. I came here for health sciences. I went to study that because I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I remember being in like a physics lecture in college and then just realizing that I wasn't gonna finish the degree at all. And I called my dad, and luckily he picked up the phone, and I was like, I don't know if I can like finish this for real. And luckily he was really receptive to it, and he was like, what do you think you can do? And then I told him that I'm really into like media and stuff.
Like, I was never gonna be limited by hoodies and t-shirts, no matter how much it made sense. So now I'm free to sort of like,
I think in the beginning, I just had a hard time knowing where to start. I had to think about what I could do to not only stand out, but to like practice the craft and then get better. And because if the qualifying thing for great art was like just having a bunch of money, you know, I would just be billionaires making art. And that sounds dry as fuck, sorry, that sounds really terrible. I just thought about like what I could do to like learn a skill, and I decided on editing because everybody sort of needs editing. When the pandemic happened, I was like, I'm gonna learn something new every month and then use that technique in an edit every month. And that's when like my capacity was making one edit in a month. And then also got eyes on what I was doing. So near the end of the year, I think in 2020, I got like my first paid promotional thing where somebody was like, hey, can you edit this for me? I'll pay you X amount of money. And I was like, damn, like this, it kind of worked. I remember a particularly low point. I was like sleeping on my brethren's floor, and like I was in the bathroom early in the morning, like trying to work a job and like still trying to like apply for houses and do these things. And then I got like an opportunity from somebody that I'd worked with 2 years ago to go to the Universal Music building to like interview somebody. And this is when I was like in the middle of being homeless, like sort of no prospects, no haircut, bad vibes, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was feeling like super down on myself. And then I realized like it's always in motion. Even when I'm feeling hopeless, like the work that I've put in is gonna speak for me in spaces that I don't even know. And then from that opportunity, I got to shoot for the headliner at like History, which is a concert venue out here. And I was in the headliner green room and like seeing like framed set lists from like Drake's tours and like pictures of like Virgil Abloh, and like I don't even have a pillow to sleep on at this point, you know what I mean? So it was like this wild juxtaposition between being in some of the hardest times I've had to be in and getting some of the biggest opportunities that I've ever had. And that sort of compounded into this understanding that no matter what, like you just keep going, you know? If you really want this, you just keep going, and it's going to show. Like you can't lose if you don't stop. And that's really important, yeah. When I was like studying and like working at the same time, or if I was trying to get into the creative scene and working like a regular job, when you live in a city like this, it just demands that you make money. So I used to make stuff that was super high key and like really based in visual effects, so a lot of transition heavy stuff or like motion graphics and things. But now it's more simple. Right now I take inspiration from the city just because I'm here, and it's usually based on the music or the score that I'm going off of, and that kind of dictates how it looks. specifically from like the West Coast. There's a lot of talented people also in the UK, some that I actually went to school with that are working in the music video industry right now. But yeah, I try to put a little bit of hip hop culture in most of the stuff that I do, even in places that you wouldn't expect it to be, just because the culture has given me so much in my personal life. So I try to let that inspire the stuff that I do quite a bit. I think it's really dope when you can just take the things that you're given and make them into the things that you exactly want, rather than just be like limited to whatever people produce for you. That was just inspired by like seeing people make their own fashion throughout my entire life. And I was really intrigued by that. For a specific example, I did a art show, which was the first time I curated an art show called Steppas, which was focused around custom fashion and footwear and how you represent your identity through the things that you make for yourself. So we did that focused on the Nike Air Force One, just because it's like an iconic shoe for years and years, and people have been customizing them and like flipping them, taking the tick off, like replacing the laces, doing whatever you can think of. We turned that into a gallery installation. So we commissioned 6 artists to do 6 different shoes, and then did like digital and physical prints off of that. It's easy to fall into the glitz and glamour of what it looks like to work in a career in entertainment, and then when you get here, you can become disillusioned quick. And I'm finding myself becoming disillusioned on a few things, which is fine. It's part of growing. For younger creatives that are just starting or coming to the city, I just want to emphasize it's okay to feel a little bit lost or a little bit intimidated, especially if you're coming from a smaller country or a completely different country. You're in a whole new society. You should just honor that, work through those feelings, don't try and push it down. Definitely keep going forward. In some of the darkest times I've had while doing this, it was just important to keep that goal in mind. Hard times are always gonna happen. It's just the nature of life and it's unpredictable. Definitely lean on your community as well. Building community is essential. When it's based in love instead of favors and being transactional, it's always gonna come back for you.
Do it. You can never find somebody do it like me. I'ma turn it all the way up, cause it kamikaze. Go ahead and try, baby, you are gonna see that you'll never ever find somebody do it like me.
Yeah, if y'all are tapped into Instagram, my website is on there too, @madebyred. And yeah, that's it.